Hi, this is Bill Quinn. Thank you for being with us. Today is November 22nd, 2025, and it seems only appropriate that we recall what happened 62 years ago on this date and what we may have lost. I'm going to leverage some things that Juan O Savin has offered in a post today, and also something that he shared during his movie, The Called, Makings of a Perfect Day. And we'll add a little bit more information that we've learned since that I think may bring these concepts into even greater clarity. So let's take a look at what he posted earlier today. On November 22nd, 1963, John F. Kennedy was assassinated, shot in the head in Dealey Plaza. He was one of the most profoundly important presidents we have ever had until Trump. That was 62 years ago. Pray. This country profoundly changed after that, and the ones that want to control you did through taxes and social programs like the Great Society of LBJ, who, I must say, smiled as he was given the title of President of the United States, where Jackie stood beside him wearing the pink dress with her husband's blood stains still in clear view. Her statement, "I want them to see what they have done." Nothing's been the same since until Donald J. Trump became the 45th president. Very profound statements, and along with this post, he shares this photo, a very expectant, happy-looking photo that was taken apparently just moments before the assassination of JFK. So he talks about what we might have lost, and rather than jump to that point, I'd like to show you what he had to say during his movie, The Called. Let's go there.
I just don't want to do it in that kind of a gathering. Okay? In the scriptures, says that when people are under a curse, when they're out of step with God in heaven on the way they conduct their lives, they can lay up wealth and treasure, but it's like putting money in a bag with holes in it. You can stuff it full of stuff, but you're just leaving a trail of money as you go. We've been doing something like that here in America. Something's wrong. We work hard. We accomplish great things. The people are smart. They're not dumb. And yet we're acting dumb. Dumb to the curse that lies on the land from some events that have been not dealt with, not reconciled. When a murder occurred in a land, until the murderer was found, until he was prosecuted, till judgment was brought to the situation, justice, the crops wouldn't do well, the rain wouldn't come, and it was widely understood, widely recognized that you had to bring justice to that situation. One of the other scriptures that comes to mind, who will be valiant for justice sake? We have a whole country full of people that are satisfied just being observers. This stolen future that we have lost, all the promises, the beautiful things that we saw that we were going to enjoy and accomplish in our generation, stolen from us. I hear people all the time, oh, we went to the moon. All we've been doing ever since is going in circles, round and round and round and round. Never a straight answer about what's really going on. Big doors turn on tiny hinges. On this one event, generations have been lost. How do we break a curse? What's required? Justice. Those that have blocked us from identifying and apprehending the criminals behind the murder, not just of an individual who had great influence here in America, but across the world. The coup had been going on for a long time. The preparations, the stealing of America, the cutting of holes into the bag where we keep our wealth, that had been greatly perfected over generations, but the final dagger into the side, into the heart of America was one murder. From that location, all of those dark angels have gone out, restrained, choked, bound America from doing that which was its destiny. Our future was stolen from us by men artfully protecting their own interests, selling their souls, enslaving their fellow man for their own gain in this world with no thought to the next. There are many who are called to break this curse, like sentinels who've observed and now are ready to act. Those that do act right now, who step their foot forward, Abraham, everywhere that he went, it said wherever he laid the sole of his foot, that was given to him. So we go and stand, occupy, own our ground, and not give it over, not give up, not turn our head the other direction, not ignore that justice has not been done. I'm headed to D.C. I got room in the passenger seat. You can ride shotgun. Who will be valiant for justice' sake?
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
Few will argue that during the Kennedy administration, there was a feeling of hope, a feeling of expectancy, and you could hear it when the president spoke. You could feel it in the hearts and minds of Americans. It was a different time, and as you heard Juan say, there was something that changed, something we lost that was beyond simple understanding at that time. Many throughout our lives have spoken of that time as similar to Camelot, a time when justice, when righteousness rang across the land. Many photos show the family as they enjoyed life, not knowing what was coming. And yet, soon in the aftermath of the assassination, you could see a difference in the actions, the tone, the realities of America. What followed the assassination included things like Roe v. Wade, the ability to have abortions almost at will, to kill unborn children as if they didn't matter. We saw the escalation of Vietnam and other conflicts that killed tens of thousands of young Americans, many more folks in Native folks in those countries. And yet today, we seem to get along just fine with these folks and trade on a regular basis with Vietnam and others. So what was this all about? Why were these actions so necessary? Also today, there was a post from Roger Stone, and he, in a new book, talks about his findings, his belief. And he says, 62 years ago today, Vice President Lyndon Johnson, with the assistance of the CIA, organized crime, the Secret Service, and Big Texas Oil, orchestrated the murder of President John F. Kennedy. I used fingerprint evidence, eyewitness evidence, and deep Texas politics to lay out the compelling case that LBJ killed JFK. Is he right? Well, we don't know as we sit here today, but perhaps we will know, and perhaps soon. Few people have visited the White House and seen the JFK portrait that you see here without feeling moved. It was a solemn feeling of sadness when you look at this painting. And that is the tone that carried many people's thoughts in the days following the assassination. Nobody can forget the picture of John Jr. saluting the caisson as it passed during JFK's funeral. And we wonder, what was it, perhaps, that was stolen? But just recently, a document was shared from the Russian embassy through the work, we believe, of Kirill Dmitriev, one of the special envoys of President Putin himself. And within it, we find some fascinating documents. One of which is a drawing shown here of something that was termed the Kennedy-Khrushchev World Peace Bridge. And it speaks that it must be built at once. Keep in mind, these documents come from the period surrounding the time of Kennedy's assassination. Was this the plan? Was there something going on that would have created such a bridge, such a collaboration, if you will, between Russia and the U.S.? If so, was this one of the things that was stolen? This appears to represent a portion of that bridge, and note that it's described below as eternal peace. And we also find a picture of Kennedy and Khrushchev appearing to smile and enjoy one another's company. What would that bridge have done? Well, would it have changed the entire relationship between Russia and the U.S. at that time and since? And the other things that we spoke of, would they have continued, or would they not have been pursued? Things like the Vietnam War and such. We remember the Tiffany blue that was such a signature of both some of the kids' garb and also of Jackie Kennedy's. And we saw this surface, Tiffany blue box, immediately following the inauguration of President Trump in 2017, as they gave this box to Barack and Michelle Obama. Are we going to see a restoration of what the promise was these many years ago? Well, we certainly hope so. Thanks for being with us. We will see you soon.